Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. And also, I want to say happy Cyber Monday to all of you. We have been having a sale on serenitynailpolish.com. Make sure you check it out. We don't only have polish on sales, but also our entrepreneurship one-on-one book is out now. It's available for you to download as an ebook. As you stop making it's available for you to download as an ebook so you can hear and learn, read more about like tips for starting your business. Today we have a special guest with us. Is it Mohan? Pronounce your name? Mohan. I love that. That's really pretty. So we have Moan Jean Mary, who is a talented hairstylist who pours love into every style she creates. Known for her warm spirit and gentle touch, she makes clients feel beautiful, understood, and cared for. Whether it's a fresh cut, silk press, or protective style, Mohan brings skill, creativity, and great vibes to every appointment. And I just found out that your girl and I have some mutual friends. Please help me welcome her in.
Wow, like is that what's being said about me in these streets? And I thank you for saying that because it just brings me back to like why I do what I do. And for people to say that, like that just like shows me that girl, keep on going, you're on the right track. So I want people to feel good and this is good. Thank you for that. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm excited to have you and to hear all about your journey and your inspiration. So let's start. What inspired you to start Modi Mel?
Okay, yep, yep, you're saying it
And
correctly.
how did that idea first come about?
So I would say a lot of times things can come into your life when you feel pressured on every side, right? I graduated college with a degree in business and economics in 2007. It was very difficult for me to find work. I started working for a lawyer at a law firm as it is an executive assistant. I was so bored. I said, I can't. Like, I was like at the desk. I don't care how much he paid me. It didn't even matter. I was like, how many more years can I do this? Um, I took clients while I was in college. I've been doing hair since I was like young. And all of my friends, even in school, they'd be like, "You're gonna be a hairstylist." Like, I was like, "No, I have a college degree. I'm not gonna be a hairstylist. I'm gonna use this economics and business. I'm gonna work on Wall Street." That was like the vision that I saw for my life. God has other plans. Like he literally shifted everything. And I felt like in 2008, that was when the stock market crashed. I'm sure you remember that time. I was just like, wow, like the economy is plummeting, but people were still coming to me to get their hair done, even in the midst of that. And so a friend said, "Hey, why don't you go to hair school?" Went to hair school, of course, fought it for like almost a year. But when I walked in the door, it felt like I was at home. I'm like, this is where I belong. Everything about being in the atmosphere, everything about learning the techniques or learning the chemistry with everything that I do, it just started to come together. It made sense. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I could see myself actually being this hairstylist. After finishing hair school, I worked at a high-end hair salon on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. I knew how to do our hair, but I was like, I want to learn how to do everyone's hair. So I learned how to do like other textures, like Asian, white, Indian, and of course our hair. And I felt like I wanted to master everything. I never wanted to show up anywhere and not know what to do. After a year of being there, I literally heard a whisper saying, "Girl, it's time. It's time for you to start your own." I was like, "It's only been a year. I'm not ready yet." But things just started to happen. Like, I don't know if people have experienced this. It's almost like you start to experience like bad things on the job, like to force you out. And I'm just like, what's happening? But in the midst of that, I was very afraid. I was afraid because I'm like, am I going to be able to have enough clients to support me to be able to take care of myself and pay my bills? Like, what's going on? So I feel like as I was like taking clients on the side when I was working at that salon in Manhattan, I felt like God was like building my faith. Like, I'm sending more, I'm sending more, I'm sending more. And once I literally like let go of that job, it was like a floodgate of clients just started coming in. Like, he made room for the time that I had available. And so of course there was no limits, no boundaries. I worked maybe like 4 or 5 days a week because it just like I just wanted to make people happy. But that was the beginning of me starting Monomel. It came from me not even thinking that hair was a thing to me walking in purpose and saying, "Oh my gosh, I love this. This is where I'm supposed to be."
Oh my gosh. First of all, I want to thank you for being so detailed and so thorough in your response. That's number one. Number
Oh, you're
two, I
welcome.
actually enjoy listening to you. I can tell that you really do love what it is that you do. Just by the way that you speak so eloquently about it. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're
And
welcome.
I know people that have expressed that same sentiment of like when life is getting ready to pivot you or change direction, things will start happening that sometimes it's like, but I'm comfortable here.
I'm
But it's,
comfortable.
but it's consistent, but I know my schedule here and this
Mhm.
feels safe. And so sometimes things can make us feel uncomfortable, right? Change could be uncomfortable, but sometimes it seems like the change is just so worth it. So I definitely want to shout you out for that,
Oh,
because
thank
that is something
you.
none of us would love to do. But like everything else, it takes whether it's time, patience, whether it's a push, whether it's a word. So thank you for sharing that.
You're
And
welcome.
I have to ask, how did you choose the name Modamel?
So, a lot of people do not know what the name Motamel means. Do you
Mhm.
know, Jasmine?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, I thought you did. So, Motamel is a combination of my name and my sister's name. Mohan, Diane, Mel, Melissa. So it was a name that I came up with at the age of 13 for an AOL account. It was my first AOL account, and I was just like, I need a name that I will never forget. Oh, just me and my sister's names combined. And then they all got tattoos on their bodies. I never got one. I was like, let me get a nameplate necklace. But like it was something that like we all cherished. It was such a special name. And then when it came to creating like this business, I didn't know what to call it. I was like, am I gonna call it my name? And like I just didn't know. And then the name came back to me. Like, no, call it Motomel. And I called it Motomel because even outside of like my sister's it's being my sister's name, there's a community that I wanted to start within Motomel. Like there was a sisterhood, a unity, and I felt like the name of Motomel was a reflection of what I wanted to happen within the business. So I named it after me and my sister's names, Motomel.
How creative is that? I'm gonna get a nameplate. Y'all can get the tattoo.
Girl, name play necklace.
The inclusivity of it is great. That's actually very similar. Serenity nail polish. Serenity is named after my daughter. Her name is Serenity.
Oh, I love it. I love
So
it.
I get it. I get it. And listen, it's a call to purpose, a call to action. You
Absolutely.
mentioned something so profound when you said you wanted to learn how to do other people's hair as well,
Mhm.
right? So there was a gap being filled, and we can also say a need.
Yes.
What gap do you feel in the beauty or wellness space you were able to fill or are still currently filling since you've been launched?
So I would say the reason why I actually really wanted to start this business was just to go back. That was the doobie era, right? 2011. People were still coming out of their relaxers, their wraps, and then I said to myself, and again, not to really put any business or anyone down. Like the experience was an express style experience, right? It was a, oh, so sorry. Hold on. It was actually, this is fine. Can you still see me? Okay, great. It was an assembly line business. There was a lack of interaction. There was a lack of relationship between the stylist and the person that was getting their hair done. And when I went into the And I actually did not want to be a stylist because I thought that that's what it looked like, right? I never saw any other way to do business. I only saw it that way when it came to the salon scene. And when I went into Manhattan, and worked at the salon, I was like, I admired the woman so much. She she had a salon where people wore robes, and if people ordered food, they would go to the back and they would get trays and put the food on the tray. And it was like such a luxurious, relaxing, such a selfless experience that I was just like, I want people back home to experience this. Like, I never felt like this at the salon I used to go to. I felt like she didn't even know my name. I felt like, just in and out. And I wanted to create that beautiful personal experience, and I wanted everyone to feel like I'm seen, I'm cared for, and like top notch experience. So that's what I felt was missing during that time. And I feel like a lot of businesses are doing that. When it comes to the area of like experiences and making it luxury, but I really want the care to go back to personalizing experiences with clients, and also the customer service aspect, like bringing that back, like, and not having everything be like behind a computer, or you're trying to make an appointment and you can't speak to a human being. Like, I want you to have the option to speak to a human. Like, I can't do AI anymore. Like, I have a limitation with that. I respect the shift, but I love the human experience.
Wow. I love the fact that you included person. Like, that's huge. And to your point, it does become like a rotating or revolving door when you
Mhm.
do go get your hair done. It's like, okay, my appointment's at 1 o'clock, you wash next. But to be able to have that personalization, to know your customer or your clients by name, um, relationship building is key. And not only that, I always go back to the line of like, people buy people first and then they buy product. And it's like, I love this person, I love the experience every time I go there. And so when it comes down, sometimes you may not have availability, right, one day that the person is looking for, but if someone has time, they'll most likely wait because they're looking for that experience that they desire, or that they know is true for them. So that is amazing. What was the biggest challenge you faced when you first opened your salon or launched your business, and how did you overcome it?
Um, I faced many challenges. um, I don't know if this is the biggest, but the scary thing I've always like was anxious about was my employees not coming to work. Right? What do I mean by that? Like, imagine having a full day of clients, and you need assistance and this person doesn't show up. Right? I thank God that has never really happened. Maybe one time one of my assistants were sick. But not even just not showing up because they're sick, but not showing up and not coming back, because this is like the era that we're in, right? Where people are just like, I want to do what I want to do and I want to do it. And so if I don't feel like coming back, I'm done. And so there was like a fear of feeling like, oh my gosh, what if I do this and I'm doing it alone and I feel overwhelmed? And so I think the one thing I had to learn when it came to being a leader was trust, right? Trusting in who you hire, trusting that that you've put all of your knowledge, everything within them, where like everything is gonna always flow no matter what happens. And if you just happen to have someone say, hey, like, Mo, I plan on like shifting and going to another like job, or like, they give me 1 or 2 weeks, it's not like I'm not showing up. So that was like my biggest fear. um um and I felt like I had to overcome that as a person who hired people. um but again, I had many different things. So sometimes you just got to kind of point at one thing, like, Mo, this specifically, because I can tell you a lot of stories.
No, I definitely get it. And to your point, that's huge, right? You're trusting someone ultimately with your dream. You have to trust that they're going to show up to work. You're going to have to trust that they're able to put business first and not emotion. You have to trust the process. You have to be able to trust whether or not you're making a good decision. Like, should I pivot and move in this way? And it's term for like what my business ultimately needs, right? And it made me think to ask you, how do you feel that Modamel changed since you first started? What's different now
Oh my
versus
goodness.
early on when you first
What an
started?
amazing question. And I was just like, so a lot of people do not know this. So I will share this with you because I felt like this is a divine meeting, a divine appointment right now. So I closed the salon 2 years ago. I closed it.
Okay.
And then in the 2 years, I was trying to figure out what's next. Like, so having my business straight from almost a year of coming out of hair school, I never saw how anyone else did business. Like only a year from that salon in Manhattan, and I did my own thing since 2011. So after 15 years of having my own business, I took a pause because I said, Mo, what is next for Modamel? What are we doing here? So I spent 6 months at this salon. I spent 3 months at this salon. It was almost like God took me on a journey to learn things that I had to pick up because if we are looking at the scope of the world that we're in, things are changing and we need to be ready for the shift that's happening. And so in this season of what I'm doing now, I'm actually at a salon now, but I did a salon suite, right? But not only that, I'm building several small businesses in different spaces. So I'm currently working in a space downtown Brooklyn, beautiful JC salon suite, very gorgeous, very luxurious, very spacious. But I'm working as a one man person, and for my weddings, I still have my assistants on call. If I need them, they will come in and assist me. Even here too, because it's just so loyal. And in my mind, I'm in a season of raising other people up. I'm in a season of building other businesses, and so I do a lot of consulting
Mhm.
nowadays, and then creating spaces like this. My second location is going to be bigger but more of a three-chair salon in New Jersey, and I only see Brooklyn and New Jersey right now as far as like the vision that's given to me. I don't see past that, and I
Mhm.
believe that it will go past that, but I think God only shows you a few steps in front of you for you to actually take the step to do certain things, because if he
Mhm.
shows you everything, you'll be overwhelmed.
Yes.
And so when I took the pause, it was so refreshing because it was almost like, Mo, you can set your own calendar, do what you want to do when you want to do it. You can have the life and the schedule that you desire. It doesn't have to be what people tell you it should be. And thank God the era and the time that we're in, our clients are so flexible. Like people are working from home now. They're here, they're working on their laptops. They're like, give me the Wi-Fi, give me the password. And
Mhm.
it's just a wonderful time to be alive and to start a business. The time is really now. Like if anyone is afraid, if I tell
Mm.
you what's happening around the world in the economy, there's a pressure for you to, even if it's not your main thing,
Mhm.
to have some type of business on the side, because there's something that everyone can create. There's an idea, there's a product, that we can sell. So to me, I'm in a season of building and hiring people, and then I see myself stepping away. And I'm sorry for those who might be scared of the idea of me stepping away, but the smartest thing we could ever do is multiply ourselves, because if anything happens to me, anything happens to my hands, my legs, or whatever, I am no good to anybody. But if I multiply myself, I'm able to have me in several areas. So I'm in a season of building, creating, teaching platforms, and creating spaces and hiring people. That's where I'm at right now.
The
And
fact
making
that
products
and
to grow
making
people's hair
products.
long.
Yes. What's the name of the products?
So I don't know if I can reveal it yet. Okay, I'll share.
Okay.
Okay, okay. It's about to get patented tomorrow. And trademark, excuse me. So the name of the product, are you ready for this, Jasmine?
Yes,
It's called Good Hair.
that's right.
Right? And then if you want to ask me how I got the name, I'll share with you whenever you're ready for me to share.
Yes, you can share. Go ahead.
I will share. I will share. So I was walking with a friend of mine, and this particular product I created years ago, and the women loved it. It works. It grows their hair long. It's an amazing ingredient. I'm sure you being half Haitian, real muscat tea. You've heard of that before, like the Haitian castor oil. So it has that in there, and then several other things that has just been known to, like, help my clients' hair grow over the years, and they love it. And I paused again for 2 years of making this product, but I knew that I'm changing certain things as far as like essential oils in there, and I knew there was a new name coming. And so the name that came to me was Good Hair, and I'm going back to Genesis, that when God created everything in 7 days, every day that he created something, he said that it was good. Right? The first day I created the firmaments, I created the light, the dark, and then I said it was good, right? And so I feel like there's just been such a conversation around our hair, like, not just women of color, but of course mainly women of color, of not thinking that our hair is good, right? Not thinking that the hair that grew out of my body and what God gave me is not good. And but everything that he created, even from the beginning to the end of the 7 days, is no, I created it, so it's good. And so it says good hair, and then in the bottom it says where everyone's hair is good, under the bottle. And so that is what came to me. And I know that there might be a little controversy around it, because whenever we talk about good hair, it's always been like, good hair, like, who has good hair? Oh, the person with this texture, or the person that looks like this. No, it's like, no, everyone's hair is good because that's what God gave you. It's good. So the name of the product line is Good Hair.
You have a story and a testimony behind everything that you do. I love how intentional you are about what is it that you do. Like, you put a lot of thought, time, effort, um, like prayer, just conversation around the things that you do. And I think those things are super important. And to your point, there is always that conversation of hair, and whether or not you have what's considered to be good hair, right? Or not so good hair, or you have picky hair. Um, Long story short, that's actually the story behind how I got my locks. When I went to
Mm.
college, I entered a little bit of like a culture shock, and it was the same thing. Like the hair, it was like a lot of different comments. And there was one day, I honestly, I cut my hair off.
Wow.
I didn't want to have a perm anymore. I said I don't want to look like everybody else. Um, and I want these people to know that I'm blackity black black.
Period. Period. This
So
is
let me
my
just go
hair.
ahead
This
and
is
cut this thing
me.
off. Let me cut this perm out my hair. And I started rocking a fro. And I had my fro for like a few years, and then I decided to lock my hair. But that's literally the story. It's the whole idea behind some people don't have the best hair and all these different things. But
Oh,
I'm
girl, your hair
happy
is
that I'm
good.
hearing you. Yes, I'm happy that I'm hearing you rebrand it like with purpose, and to say like, listen, everybody that passes through my hair, my salon, my in my chair, like their hair is good, and they're leaving there not only with the experience like you mentioned, but they're leaving feeling like my hair is good too,
That's
and it
right.
is,
That's right. And,
and
and
it
and
is.
that is the goal. That is the goal. And to change your mind, and
Mm-hmm.
also the way that we actually see our hair. I think there needs to be a renewing of the mind in that area as well too. As
Yep.
in, my hair is difficult, or it's hard, or I don't like
Mm-hmm.
to wash it because it's just, like, I think it's just a narrative that we've been told for so many years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're in our mind, we're hearing, oh, it's so difficult, oh, it's so hard, oh, I don't want to. No, 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 it's good, trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, I love
Yes.
it. It's definitely a renewing of the mind as well. And you mentioned you're doing consulting. So how are you juggling running a salon and creating products? And I believe you're a motivational speaker based on this conversation that we're having right now.
I
How do
feel
you
like God is taking me there. It's insane. But and if I tell you the hard experiences I experienced in life, like in this journey, like what are you gonna talk about if you don't go through nothing?
correct?
Right? I'm so sorry. I'm like my client is asking for a charger. What are you gonna talk about if you experience nothing in this life? So
Mhm,
I do feel like when we're called to pour into people, we're gonna go through things, and
mhm.
God is going to allow us to. Here you go, honey. God is going to allow us. Look at the fabulosity of where I'm
I
at.
was about to say, can you just send me
I'm
some
gonna give you a quick
pictures?
tour.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow, that is a pretty space. Oh my God.
it's just so perfect. So I'm just so happy to be here. It just very fitting, and like everyone has their own designed rooms, and everything's like kind of closed up right now. But outside of that, you were asking me a question. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yes. No, I wanted to know, how are you juggling all of the different avenues that you are taking on with the salon and the products and consulting?
So honestly, I feel like it's just making time for everything. That's why I really try to just do salon days 3 times a week only, so that I can make time for the things that I need to make time for. So let's say, for instance, I've had everything I needed to make the products since August. I never had the time to do it. You need to set
Yeah.
aside time,
Yeah.
like to be able to have nothing be in the way, because when you create and you're making products, like you want to not feel stressed or being like you feel like you're being pulled everywhere. So in the next 2 weeks is my time to make the products. I'm taking less clients this week, and it's just about juggling things and making it make sense for you so that you don't feel overwhelmed.
Yes. No, that makes sense. I get that. There's plenty of days where I feel like I don't have enough time and I'm like, how do I push this around? You know, it can feel chaotic. Like you said, like your schedule can really dictate your day if you don't take control of it. So,
Yes, yes, yes,
and how
yes.
are you
But there are
staying
days that are
motivated?
good. It's like inevitable, like, and we can't help it, and that's okay too. But as long as you're getting your rest in between.
Yes. I
Hmm.
slept a lot this past week.
Yes,
And
yes.
I didn't even realize I was that tired, but I was.
Hmm. Resting is big to me. I don't play. I actually don't work on Saturdays anymore because that is my rest day.
Yes. No, I think that's great. How do you stay motivated and inspired on like the tough days, especially in a creative and demanding business like beauty?
So I've discovered that being like doing whatever we do, whether it be a teacher, whether it be a hairstylist, whether it be just anything, um, I felt like it was such a routine type of job that, and it wasn't like I was getting bored. I just needed to be reignited and inspired. So I am a ballet dancer. I did ballet modern for several years. So I went back to that. I went back into that space, and I feel like I'm tapping into different parts of myself and through levels of creativity so that I can keep creativity flowing, right? If we find ourselves doing the same thing every day, it actually becomes very monotonous and boring, right? And so I go to the museum. I went to the Met the other day, and I felt like I went to go see, what is that? I don't know if you heard about it. The men's from the Met Gala this year. The men, I forgot what it's called.
Is it the Black Joy?
It wasn't the Black Joy, but it was the Black Dandy.
Oh, the Black Dandy. Okay, yes.
Yes, yes. So that was inspiring. So doing those things, like taking a dance class, drawing, like going for a hike, like seeing scenic things. You need your mind to be exposed to different things to keep your mind in a space of like feeling like new things are coming in. Me walking down the street, I could just see people with different bobs and pixie cuts and different colors. That ignites me. Like we need to go outside again. I think sometimes we're just staying indoors so much that we're losing inspiration based off of just being home. And so
Mhm.
I'm really making it my business to step out, to go outside, to be around others. And I get inspired just by even by being around other people and other creatives too.
Yes, that part right there, like being around other creatives is a
Yes,
huge thing because it keeps you like motivated and inspired. Sometimes people
absolutely.
feel like stale or like complacent energy, but it's nice to be around people that are doing something that is like similar. Um, Now, I have a question to ask
Hmm.
because there are a few people that are interested in starting their own beauty or wellness business. What
Yeah.
qualities do you believe are most important for someone who would like to start either a beauty or a wellness business?
Okay. So I love that you said qualities. It's just so important to know why you're doing this. Always, every time you feel like you don't want to do this anymore, go back to your why. Why did you start this? Why do you want to do this? And so I would say go to your why. And as far as like qualities, you need to be resilient. You need to be, what is that word? Someone who has grit, right? You need to, I'm going to say this, everyone's values are very different. Put together a core value of what you want your business to be and to look like. Those are important as well too. It helps you in like who you also bring in alongside of you to make sure that they are aligned with you and what you're doing. And you got to have a good spirit, right? If I'm serving other people, I gotta feel good. I gotta come in smiling. And if you're not a smiler, just come in with like, hello, how are you? How can I help you today? But literally, like when I think of like qualities, it's like I want us to go back to serving, like serving with a pure heart, with like I just want you to leave happy, like and just really I don't want to say just completely forgetting about yourself, but denying like what I feel to make sure that my customer is truly happy. So servanthood is number one.
Thank you for sharing that. Mass in our business commented and said systems are super important to have. They're key when running business.
Absolutely. Oh yes, 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 yes.
And two strong Black women. Why? Thank you.
Oh, yes. I'm a system girly all day. I definitely have like an employee handbook and system book. Yes, I'm totally, I agree with that 1000%.
Good. See, now there's ways to capitalize, and I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be something else that you're thinking about
For sure, for sure.
as
I'm
well.
telling you, so many different avenues that I just see in my
Mhm.
mind that I feel like our community really needs, and that's going to help
Yeah,
them make things easier instead of them trying to figure out everything from the ground up.
exactly. And that's something that I was going to ask because when you are first starting a business, like funding is it's a thing. So when
Yes.
you first started, how did you fund everything? Did you self fund, save, get a loan, or use another method?
Are you ready for this crazy
Yes.
story? So I actually started out in this huge apartment that I had, right? Not because I wanted to, because I was working at the salon in Manhattan and it just is just what made sense to me, right? So I started there. I was just like, oh, let me just get a chair. I'm just gonna do my clients on the side, just a few people, one chair and a little mirror. And then I'm just like, okay, this is really expanding, but I don't think I'm ready for a storefront yet. Okay, but again, this is my apartment. I live by myself. It's huge, 1,000 square feet. I was just like, okay, let me just get two chairs and then just, get a wider mirror. And then, okay, let me just hire an assistant because it's just getting really busy. Okay, let me just get three chairs. All right, let me get four chairs. All of my furniture left the apartment. It became a full on salon. So I told my landlord, I said, I am running a salon in your building. Like, and he was like, I don't care as long as you pay your rent. Right. And I was like, that is rare to hear. And I felt like that season was a season where I felt like it was a safety net for me where and also it helped me to kind of navigate like what kind of style of salon I wanted to run and the business and everything. And so um I was training my girls from an apartment. And honestly, when people would come and made an appointment with me, if I tell you, I never not had any clients. I was always booked and busy from beginning to the end of the day. And that's why I was able to hire all these girls and train them, and then they can like take on clients. And I'm just like, because I do believe that God is the one that blesses. God is the one that sends as well, too, right? Like, God, why would you send all these people to an apartment? Like, I don't have like a storefront yet, but the storefronts are in the area that, I'm at. We're going for 5 grand, almost 10 grand, like close to like 7th Avenue area, Flatbush. And even with that, like I was able to build a business, made great money. So to me, this is my advice to anyone. First and foremost, if you are in a beauty business, it's so important to assist someone. I was big on having assistants, and then if I tell you, one of them reached out to me last week, and I have not seen her in almost like 8 years, and she said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you've done for me." I was like saving the recording. And she goes, "I was not confident back then, but today, the way that I think and the way that I do business," she makes products and she sells products, and she's like an influencer now, and then she does like a lot of hair videos. She goes, "It's because of what you told me." Right. And it never left me. Like I was scared, and I wasn't able to receive it then. But now, like I hear your voice in the back of my head saying this and this and that. And to me, like that just made my day. Like if I could just help one woman, change her life, change the life and the trajectory of her children, I've made a world of a difference. Right. So to me, you start small. You start with wherever you can. Right, you can take your clients on the side, right? Even whether it's like a space in your home, or maybe not a chair to salon, because you're going to be paying monthly rent, and if you don't have the money to pay that, doesn't make any sense, right? But assisting someone never hurts. Go look for someone who can pour into you, someone who can say, "This is what you're doing right, this is what you're doing wrong," so that you can actually save yourself a lot of pain and hurt and disappointment, so that you come out into the world when you're ready, your money's together, your character's together, your like everything is together, and you're ready to do it and to do it right.
Okay, okay. Thank you for sharing that. We did have a question.
Sure.
It just popped up. How are you incorporating AI in your company?
Oh my gosh. So I was like so anti AI in the beginning. I was just like, AI is going to take, but I'm like, no, AI is actually wonderful when it comes to businesses. So I do a lot of weddings, I do a lot of wedding contracts. Even with creating this product, my best friend Chat did it for me, right? I told Chat what I wanted. I told Chat how I wanted to look. And initially, I called one of my friends who usually like creates the designs for my products. And she was like, "Oh, Mo, it's just one product. I don't think it's like, honestly, financially worth my time to do it, but I can like pass your info on to someone else that can actually help you." And then I said to myself, I was just like, you know what? No, that's actually a call for me to do it myself. Like I I was just like, okay, well, you know what? It's all good. Maybe like a few minutes later, I called on Chat. I said, "Chat, I want a product that looks like this. I want this color. I want this like." Chat did way better than I even thought it could look. And so once I did that, I sent it to Fiverr, and I had somebody somewhere in another country actually create it so I can get all the different oh, what do you call it again? Like the the oh my gosh, I forgot what you call it. You get what I'm saying? Like the different
Layouts?
yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, yes, the layouts for the labeling, and it was so easy. But Chat helped me do it, like, and literally it happened under 10 minutes. So I was able to create a product label for free, right? I did not have to go to someone, and I last time I think I paid her almost over $1,000 to create a product label. But AI honestly can be your best friend if you're using it the right way.
Yes, it's so true. That is one of my best friends as well. It is a third party that is mutual.
Yes,
And it is
the
a good
chatty.
assistant. Right. That's awesome. That's awesome that you're able to use it to your advantage, because listen, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can use what works and what is most effective at the moment.
Absolutely, and it makes sense, and then there are parts of my business where I like to be hands on and like still
Mhm,
do it. But to be honest, what we do in the wellness industry and the beauty industry, AI cannot do,
mhm.
right? But the things that we can't do, we give it to AI.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
What strategies or marketing tactics work best for you when you were new, and what works best now?
Well, first of all, I think when your work is so good, people notice it. And then that is your clients are your advertisements, right? So whenever I did my client's hair, they would literally be like, somebody in the street stopped me and I'm giving her your card, right? So you're doing great work. I'm giving her, I had cards at the time. Yes, we had cards. And I'm gonna bring that back, by the way, because I feel like digital cards sometimes people forget your name. But I used to have like a physical card with my face on it so that people would be like, "Oh, that girl on her." I'm just smiling in the picture. So I think I want to go back to like physical cards. But that was like my advertisement. Literally, people just handing out my phone number to random people in the street that they met that they loved, their hair. And that was my way of like doing it without like having a whole marketing or advertising like through any type of outlet outside of word of mouth, which is the most powerful thing we could ever have going for us. Right now, it's been so interesting. I feel like the name has grown so much to the point where I don't advertise as much as I used to, because I do a lot of collaborations with other people in business. And sometimes when they're posting, they're automatically posting me, right? And then so I would get all these inquiries for like brides and everything. I was like, I haven't posted anything in like 3 months. But like they saw one makeup artist post my work, and I'm getting literally three inquiries within that day because of that one person. So I think it's important to connect with other people, other entrepreneurs. Collaborations are the most powerful things you could ever do for your business. It helps you grow. It helps you connect with other people. And so I would say definitely collaborations in the area of like connecting and marketing. But I believe in this season, as I'm about to start this product release,
Mhm,
there's a new strategy that I'm actually trying to put together.
mhm,
I have not figured out what it is yet, but I think it's going to be a lot of conversations first around good hair,
mhm,
right? So that people can like be introduced to the concept and why first,
mhm.
and then see the product, or put it beside each other instead of just saying, "Here's a good hair bottle, use it." So yeah,
I think that is great, and I love and what a great space to have those conversations
yeah,
at the hair salon. And those conversations can definitely be had because
yes.
they are important to have. And I know that Motormel is going to go far. We
Oh, thank
mentioned
you.
Brooklyn, we mentioned New Jersey, and looking ahead, we don't know all of the details, but where do you see Motormel in about 5 years? Do you have plans to continue to um, expand, or is that something that you're continue to like? I just want to stay in Brooklyn and Jersey for now.
No, no, no. I definitely see it in other spaces, but I just have clarity and a visual in my mind for Jersey and for Brooklyn already, because I already have clients in Jersey and clients here in Brooklyn. So it just also makes sense too. Um, so to me, the reason again why I'm creating Modern Mel is I want people to have the same experience in every major hub. So I would love something in Miami. I would love something in California, LA. I would
Nice.
love something in Atlanta. And I would love something in like Paris and also London. And then Chicago is in the air, but those are the spaces that I feel would do very well. Baltimore is an interesting space though for Monomel, because Baltimore, I'm sure you're familiar with Baltimore, where it's at, what's going on in that city right now too. They're really trying to rebuild, right? So there's opportunity there to rebuild because they're actually giving people money to start businesses there, right? And so people are getting grants. There are empty homes, empty buildings. So for those who feel like they want to kind of step out and do something in those kind of spaces and really build everything from the ground up, Baltimore's another area that I'm thinking about, but I have not put a stamp on Baltimore yet. But Baltimore would be another place as well too. So those are the places that I have in my mind. And they all don't have to be big. Sometimes they could be 2, 3 chair salons. Sometimes they could be 5 chair salons with other things like spas included in it. But every region, I'm gonna say, has a need, and you got to be able to understand and say, okay, New York needs this, New Jersey needs this, Chicago needs this. Like some places don't need everything, you know.
Again, intentionality with everything that you're saying. You're not just saying, "Oh, I want to, put my business here because this is where I think this would be like a cute space." It's more of like, what are the needs? What can
Correct.
I put there? What makes the most sense? And how can people ultimately walk away with the same experience that is personable to them, that builds connection, where they want to come back, and they ultimately love your business. Now, we have to get these products when they come out. Definitely would love to order some.
Yeah.
Um, Please let everyone know you are amazing, by the way. And if there's anything that you didn't get a chance to share that is on your heart, I'm going to give you the space and the platform to do that now. Please tell everybody where they can follow you, your social media handles, um, how they can book a hair appointment.
For sure, for sure. Yes, yes. So you can follow me on Instagram, Modimel, Modimel. That's my main page that I'm constantly on the most. Um, and I will say my website, I'm redoing that. So that's going to be coming up very soon. By the end of the month, you should see something coming up. The product sales will happen in the beginning of January. So stay tuned for that, ladies. And just more education on your hair, how to care for your hair, even using natural products, and really changing and renewing your mind on how you see your own hair. So stay tuned for those affirmations on speaking life about our own hair. As far as like anyone who is gonna create and do anything in this life, whether it be someone who does hair, whether it be someone who gives massages or facials, I'm gonna say this. I remember writing down a vision, right? And the vision, this is one of my teachers in hair school told me, and all of us in the classroom, okay, write down your 10-year plan of what you want to achieve in 10 years. And I wrote everything down and I accomplished everything that I wrote down. And at the very end, I wrote that I want to create hair products. And so when I closed down the salon 2 years ago, before I like started over again, so sorry they're passing by. I said, Mo, you didn't finish the last part. You didn't finish the product creation yet, right? Because I could easily pivot and be like, I'm just a consultant now. No, but everything that you saw in the vision, do it. Like, don't think that it's over. Don't think it's not going to happen. Like, the thing is that God gives us a vision, but we never know how it's going to play out or how it's going to be executed. But it's about starting. And every time you take that leap of faith, every time you take that step, you begin to see the door begins to open for you, the opportunities begin to come in. And it was almost like even divine timing today for, however this came about in this meeting with you and I. Like, it's like God gave me full clarity about what He wanted me to do with the next phase of this business. And you were like, are you available? Right? Because it was supposed to be January, right? This next conversation. So every time we make a step, everyone comes along, whether it be the people, whether it be the connections, whether it be the partnerships. It's almost like a call that goes out into the atmosphere, and it begins to call everyone that's supposed to be aligned with you to complete the vision. But it only happens when you take that step. Once I take that step, he brings that thing. He brings provision. He brings people, everything that you need. And whatever you need or have at this moment may be all that you need to just start. You don't need sometimes $100,000 to start this thing, because the vision is so big. It may not be a right now vision. It might be a 5-year vision, but start it now. I can't hear you.
Yes. My butt was stuck. I'm so sorry. Everyone, you heard it. You heard it live, from the advice to the daily walkthrough, um, to everything that you need to take your first step. You heard it today. The time is now. You get started to now. Make those connections with people. Branch out. Learn new ideas. New get your new
New,
knowledge.
new
Network,
trades, everything. Yes.
everything. Like do all of the things and make sure you're following. Did you tell us your social media handle?
Yes, Modimel, Modimel. And I'm going to say this lastly, guys.
Hmm.
Do not forget to live. Do
Yeah.
not forget to be present. Every time you present, you start to see everything around you.
Mhm.
But be present and live. Sometimes things happen organically. It's not sometimes intentional when you're just, oh, I'm looking for an opportunity today. No, I sat on a train. I decided to go for a cup of coffee and I
Yeah.
sat next to someone that can help me with whatever I was, thinking about doing. It's important to live. So that is the last thing as an entrepreneur. Do not forget to live.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you
Jasmine,
are
thank you
not
for having
following,
me.
no problem. If you are not following Modemel, you are missing out. First of all, I need to book a hair appointment as well.
Oh,
I know you do not specialize in locks. However, a really good hair wash will do. Um,
listen, come on by.
what is the age range you take for clients?
Oh, so I think my youngest client right now is about like 10, 11.
Okay,
I would say as long as they're not crying,
I
I'm
know.
good. Because there's some age groups that are just so tender and they're so sensitive. Um, so yeah, I would say like 10, 11, and the 10, 11 year olds that I see, there's like, they're so mature to the point where they're like, oh, this is nothing, you know.
Right.
So yeah, 10, 11 is fine.
Okay. Well, that's
Mhm.
good to know for people wanting to, schedule their appointment. Um, but it was a pleasure having you join us. I love your spirit and your energy. You are
Oh,
amazing. And I would definitely love to have you on again when we do, future shows and panel discussions. And I would love to also just stay connected. I'm definitely passing your information along. No, you haven't done my hair, but again, it's about personality and building those connections. And like I said, I really enjoyed you. And I
oh,
can't wait to
sweetie.
share your information with other people. Like just even you taking the time out to show us your space, I thought that was a nice addition and a nice touch to today as well. And I'm like, now I can at least tell people her place is clean.
Very clean and very organized and beautiful.
I know. 'Cause I seen it on live. And for those of you that are watching, we also want to say thank you so much for all of your support on our journey this far for Serenity Nail Polish. Thank you for those of you that supported the Black Friday sale. Scan to visit our site now. You can scan the QR code that's on the screen. Also, today is Cyber Monday, so make sure you are supporting a business. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And until next week, be blessed and have a safe week, everyone. Take care.